Star Trek has never shied away from its illustrious past, and modern shows are known for making connections and callbacks to years gone by. But as Star Trek has expanded at pace over the past 15 years, the franchise's output has increasingly given shared universe vibes, with Star Trek Discovery launching Strange New Worlds crossing over with Lower Decks having wall-to-wall Easter eggs in every scene, etc. The franchise's latest chapter, Star Trek Starfleet Academy, is no different. James T. Kirk has an entire pavilion named in his honor. Several notable faces from Star Trek Discovery return, and the USS Athena's Wall of Honor celebrates fan-favorite figures both real and fictional, from Spock to Tawny Newsome. Inter-show references are par for the course in Star Trek nowadays, but Starfleet Academy deviates from the norm by affording the franchise's most overlooked series a level of attention and respect it doesn't always receive. Star Trek Prodigy has been isolated from the wider Star Trek franchise. Modern Star Trek put a gap between its live-action output and its animated fare, namely Star Trek Lower Decks and Star Trek Prodigy. You wouldn't catch Star Trek Picard's title character wistfully reminiscing about legendary Starfleet officer Bradward Boimler. The animated shows made plenty of references to their live-action counterparts, but the admiration wasn't necessarily reciprocated. Those lines were eventually blurred by Strange New Worlds Season 2's Lower Decks crossover, in which Boimler and Mariner made their long-awaited live-action debuts. It was at that point that the wider Star Trek franchise began to truly welcome Lower Decks into the fold, rather than treating it as the kooky younger cousin too stoned to be invited to family functions. That left Star Trek Prodigy in its own little corner of the galaxy, and perhaps not without reason. Prodigy began as a Nickelodeon series aimed at a younger audience and showing few overt connections to Star Trek mythology. It seemed only natural to separate that from the likes of Star Trek, Picard and Discovery. Starfleet Academy makes Star Trek Prodigy way more important. Finally, Starfleet Academy changes the narrative. Not only does Star Trek Prodigy receive several references in episodes 1 and 2, one of those references could feed directly into Starfleet Academy's plot. Firstly, the USS Athena's Wall of Honor includes a 03, which is likely either Zero from Star Trek Prodigy or a direct descendant. The mere presence of a Prodigy character alongside a raft of franchise legends speaks to how the animated series' stature is growing. Secondly, Starfleet Academy highlights a Brickar student walking through the Athena's halls and even speaking a line. The Brickar was a species specifically introduced for Star Trek Prodigy, and this marks the first occasion such an alien has been glimpsed in a live-action setting. Its inclusion in Starfleet Academy begins to bring the lore and mythology established by Star Trek Prodigy into the franchise proper. Most significantly, Sam mentions Prodigy's main ship, the Protostar, to the Doctor, as well as 3 of the animated show's main characters, Dal and Murph and Captain Gwendala. At this point, it starts to feel like Prodigy is essential Star Trek viewing, which is a stance no other live-action series has taken thus far. Subscribe for newsletter analysis of Star Trek tie-ins. Discover the connective lore you may have missed. Subscribe to the newsletter for focused breakdowns of how Starfleet Academy elevates Prodigy, scene-by-scene nods, character links, and what those crossovers add to Trek continuity. Subscribe. By subscribing, you agree to receive newsletter and marketing emails, and accept Valnet's terms of use and privacy policy. You can unsubscribe anytime. Upon hearing these 3 names, however, the Doctor reacts emotionally, suggesting that future Starfleet Academy episodes will dig into the Prodigy crew's fate as a key subplot, and once again reward Star Trek fans who watched the animated series until the end. Star Trek Prodigy is way too underrated as a Star Trek series. It's not hard to see how Star Trek Prodigy's child-friendly sensibilities might have deterred grown-up viewers. Even those who braved the first few episodes would have found very little connective tissue between Prodigy and other Star Trek shows early on. But as the series developed and the connections to Voyager became more pronounced, Prodigy found its feet and evolved into a true Star Trek series full of heart, wit, and imagination. Just when Star Trek Prodigy had gained some audience momentum, however, it came to a premature conclusion after 2 seasons. Prodigy's early ending only served to further isolate it from the main franchise. Fortunately, Star Trek's new Starfleet Academy series is setting the record straight. Your rating: close 10 stars, 9 stars, 8 stars, 7 stars, 6 stars, 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, 2 stars, 1 star. Rate now 0/10. Leave a review. Your comment has not been saved. Like, follow. Followed Star Trek Starfleet Academy drama science fiction fantasy 16/8. 8/10 release date January 15, 2026. Network Paramount Plus. Cast: see all. Holly Hunter, Nala Ake, Sandro Rasta, Caleb Meir. After being closed for over 100 years, Starfleet Academy is reopening its doors to those who wish to pursue a career as Starfleet officers. Star Trek Starfleet Academy will follow a new group of cadets as they come of age, and build friendships, rivalries, and romantic relationships while being threatened by a new adversary that could destroy the Academy and the Federation itself. Powered by Expand Collapse. Your rating: close 10 stars, 9 stars, 8 stars, 7 stars, 6 stars, 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, 2 stars, 1 star. Rate now 0/10. Leave a review. Your comment has not been saved. Like, follow. Followed Star Trek Prodigy TVY 7 sci-fi adventure drama animation 29. 2/10 release date 2021-2024. Network Paramount. Where to watch: close. Where to watch streaming by powered by Expand Collapse.